What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll be discussing Venus and the sign of Leo. What is Venus? Venus is the planet of love, creativity, relationships, beauty, and pleasure. Leo is a sign of creative self expression, the realization of the I am. The Leo energy I love to call celebrity energy because it engulfs the person with confidence and just an overall dynamic outlook and embodiment, depending on the planet here. So when Venus gets here, in my opinion, I think Venus is exalted here just as well as is exalted in Pisces. It's just that the reasoning is a bit different. But as far as functioning here, Venus is feels right at home. Leo represents the house of creativity, so it's like for Venus, you can pick your poison. Do you want to paint? Do you want to do poetry? Do you want to act? Do you want to direct? Right? What do you want to do? How do you want to express yourself? So for Venus and Leo, the need to express the creativity is amplified. All right. So this sign is and just so you know, I have Venus and Leo natally in the 12th. But I'm fortunate to have Venus supported by other planets, which is very, very key. But I'm going to give it to you just as Venus being alone. So this Venus tricks itself. And I say that because as you study these signs, you'll see that it's a double-edged sword. I'll go back on the last time we covered in Venus and Cancer. Venus in Cancer wants to nurture others as well as be nurtured in return. So they attract people who are seeking that, and in return from them expressing it onto the nurturing onto them, the person reciprocates it back. So it's Venus is really getting what it needs expression wise. Now with Venus and Leo, okay, a key word for Leo is appreciation. The person with Venus and Leo is seeking appreciation from the person they are engaged with. But Venus in Leo likes the most dynamic, the most handsome, beautiful partner out there. They want their partner to be able to garner the attention, but they want that same attention in return. So, do we see the problem here? Venus in Leo ultimately looks for a person who is like themselves, right? But depending on how the chart is set up, this person may realize this or they may not. So they're trying to realize it or see it in someone else. Now, Venus and Leo will get exactly what they want. A partner who, gets all the eyes, it is creative and all those things. But they steal the attention from the person with Venus and Leo. So the relationship kind of becomes like a competition. And this definitely plays into that Leo cliche of needing attention. So let's talk about that. It's a real, now, This sign, what Venus and Leo needs from their partner, they don't need. Now, when we say needs attention, don't mistake this for being clingy. It is a need for appreciation. You need to pay attention to the things, the creative things I do as a lover, and let me know you appreciate it. But people who are always getting the attention ultimately get consumed in everybody, giving it to them, that they don't give it to the other people. So this is the problem for Venus and Leo. And this is where your house comes into play. All right? So um one thing that I've noticed is that when Venus gets in the 10th house, and this will show you that why you can't always read it a particular way. You would think Venus in the 10th house would probably assume, especially in Leo, assume that a person is out there um, expressing their creativity, you know, in a field or whatever, their career and things of that nature. But more times than not, um, what I've seen is that people who have Venus in the 10th, especially in Leo, they attract that celebrity type of partner. They're that overshadowing kind of partner, and they lose their their creative essence or self awareness of who they are, right? And this is where we look at it from the standpoint of sun ruling Leo and being such a hot planet, and it ruling whatever house Venus is in. It's heating up that house, so Venus starts to lose some qualities. All right, so that's one observation. Um, Venus. Now here's the thing. Now Venus in the seventh house, right? Venus in the seventh house in Leo. Um, this we can see a person meeting their equal, meeting that person that is just as famous as them or creative as them, and they share the spotlight, or they share the attention. So with Venus and Leo, you definitely want to see what house you're in and how that's playing itself out. So um, one of my favorite things about Venus and Leo, I've just come to notice, is that some really good dressers, man. Seriously, like if I see somebody out there who catches my eye as far as style wise, I'm always thinking, oh man, I wonder what their Venus is. And if I ever really, come into contact with them, or I'll see somebody with read somebody's chart with Venus and Leo, I always see that dynamic flair, especially fashion sense wise. Because really, like, and that's what I said, it's definitely a celebrity kind of energy, because it gets you that attention. It really, really does. But key thing with Leo is that you gotta understand that to bring it in from the exterior, you have to cultivate it from within. So the more grounded you are and content with yourself you are inside, the more attention you'll garner on the outside. But yeah, Venus and Leo, I definitely in studying, like I said, I have this placement, and definitely looking at it. Um, Venus and Aquarius, I just think it's in other signs I see like so much like discord when a person has their Venus in someone's opposite sign. But Venus and Aquarius it resonates really, really well. Like somebody who has Venus in Aquarius and someone who has Venus in Leo, sexually it's just like off the charts. um they find each other really, really interesting, things of that nature. Like between this axis, the two really appreciate and see the individual qualities in one another. So I definitely think Leo, uh, Venus and Leo should look for that Aquarian kind of partner. Um, Definitely not like, and that's why I say they trick themselves, because they're looking for themselves, but you don't want yourself. You have to understand that you need compliments to your own qualities, not another version of yourself. All right. So I think that about covers it. This is my interpretation of Venus in the sign of Leo. If you haven't subscribed to my page, feel free to do so. Until next time, peace.